Good morning. Welcome back to another video. This morning we're at South Fork Park here in the town of Florence. Doing a little bit of location scouting. Never been here, don't know much about it. I just know that this is the largest park in the Florence City Park system. And it's 42 acres if I remember correctly. Having never been here, I really don't know much about it. But all I know is that it's big, it's in Florence, and there's supposed to be a creek that runs through here, and there is a disc golf course. So I thought I'd do is location scout, see if I can find something maybe to shoot. Take the all-in-one Mark II, see if I can find something here with the 12 to 45, which I got holding around my neck. Videoing with the OM5. See if we can find something. I thought I'd find something, maybe take an image or two. A couple nice bare trees right there. Of course, we've missed all the fall color. That's just kind of the story of my life. That's kind of just where we're at. But thought we'd do some of that, take some pictures, see if we can find something to shoot, and then at the end here, talk about what I decided to do with my Leica Q and bring you up to speed onto that. But it's a nice place, a little bit foggy, sun's up. It's really interesting, quiet, not a lot of people here yet. It's a nice little place. And here, turn around, maybe you can see behind me here. I'm just like in an open field. Behind me you got some of the play equipment and things like that. I'm just walking down this hill. So anyway, look around a little bit, see what we can find. Take an image or two, and when we get done with that, we'll talk about what I decided to do with the Leica Q. So thanks for coming along, everybody. Stay tuned. I don't know if you can see this down here, but there's a beautiful tree. I don't know. I'm not great with knowing what different types of trees they are, but you can see there's really no leaves in it. But it has, beautiful white bark. The light from the sun, which is coming up over here behind us, is hitting it and giving us some really nice light. So let's take an image of that, see what it turns out. All right, so what we're doing here, we're shooting at f8, and we're going to shoot at 1/50th of a second, all the way out at 45. Let's see what we get there, see if that turns out. So if that turned out, looks anything decent, I'll throw it in here for you to see. Alright, creek's right over here to the left of me, so I think we're going to go down here and see what we can come up with. This is a neat little place. I'm going to have to come back here. That's pretty nice. So anyway, let's walk over here to the creek. Alright, so I'm sitting here in rock, actually right in the middle of the creek. Looking upstream. I didn't bring a circular polarizer with me on this trip. Note to self, don't ever do that. Alright, always bring what you need or what you think you might need. I didn't do that. But regardless, what we got here is the creek running towards me. Sun's coming up over here to my left. Alright, a lot of steam and stuff rising from the water. Let's see if we can capture anything here. Again, shooting fully manual. Or back off of 45 for about 28. Alright, f8. Again, 1/50th of a second. Let's see what that looks like. I'm not really worried about slowing down the water at this point. We'll do that here in a second. But man, nice place. Really, really nice place. Really nice place. Let's take a shot right here. Alright, looking out at this. And let's, in this particular case, let's take and slow the shutter speed down. Alright, so now, this is at 1/10. I don't know how that'll turn out, but if it does, we'll put it in here. so now let's make some adjustment to bring it down. And because of the light that's up, we're going to have to go to ND filters. Alright, I didn't bring a circular polarizer, and I don't want to, I could go below ISO 200, but for this particular excursion I'm not going to do it. I'm going to hand hold, so I don't want to go really super slow. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into my menu. I'm going to go to Live MD, ND that is. I'll turn it on. I'm sitting at a 3-stop right now, so let's see what that looks like. How much does that slow me down? Let's see. Stay at F8. That's 1/5 of a second. Alright, so let's take that first original shot, but we're going to wide up, go wide. So we're going to go all the way out to 12. Now let's pull it back in to about 28. Same thing. Alright, 1/5. Now we'll do the same thing here. Although, because there's not as much light in this spot, what I'll have to do, I'm sure, is slow down a little bit. Yeah, let's see, let's spread out a little bit from that. Right, so it's still 1.7 under, so let's, where do we end up? So here we're going to be 1.6, or no, 0.61 and 1/6 of a second. That's what it is. So let's see how that turns out. Definitely different. Alright, so now we're going to shoot this shot again. We're going to turn the filter from a 3-stop. Let's go to, it says it's got a 5-stop, so let's use the 5-stop. I'm going to turn the live simulation off, because that's kind of a little weird if you haven't used that. There's a live simulation, so you can, as you're taking a shot, you kind of half press the button. It'll kind of give you a view of what your shot's going to look like with how your settings are. You know, but it's kind of weird. It's kind of, it's hard to, at least for me, it's hard to focus. My mind doesn't focus because of it. Alright, so now let's see. Alright, so we're going to have to come down 2 stops. Alright, so this has got me back basically almost like the last shot I took. Because again, there's more light coming down the stream here. We're going to go up back to that, let's see, let's do 24. Alright, so now let's go all the way back to 12. Take the whole thing. It turned out. Alright, so anything I haven't shown you already that turned out, I'll put in here so you can see it. So let's go and move around, see if we can find something else to shoot while we're here. Alright, so I'm out here on the disc golf course, believe it or not. Now, I don't know what you can see here, but the sun's coming off up over here to my right, up over the hill and up over the houses. There's this bridge here, alright, and this, basically it's lighting all this up. Now, I don't know if this will turn out because there's not a lot of color or anything here, but I'm going to go ahead and try to take a shot of this. Alright, see what it looks like, see if it turns out. Alright, so it kind of looks nice, although the question here is at what level to shoot at. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get lower to the ground, see what I can come up with. Alright, we're going to adjust up to F16. Alright, we're going to stay at ISO 2000, or 200, excuse me, 1/60 of a second. What I'm trying to do here is hopefully I can get a sun start shining through the trees. I don't know if it'll work or not, but we're going to try it. And still capture the bridge and hopefully capture some of this light. Hard to tell. I probably should be using my graduated ND filters, but I'm not. So let's go over here to the bridge, maybe see if we can capture something else. Alright, so now I've come down underneath the bridge. Stream's out here in front of me. Just want to try to capture another shot of it from a different angle. So that's what we're doing here. You know, and I encourage you, whenever you get out, to do that. Alright, try to find things from different angles. Don't always shoot at just standing eye height. That's, you know, gets kind of boring after a while. I do way too much of it. So I do encourage you to think differently. I am going to go back and put in my live ND because this is, you know, pretty lit up now. I don't want to shoot water at 1/80th of a second, although I really wish I had my circular polarizer to get rid of some of the glare. Alright, let's see here. Go up to 1/8, now at 1/4 of a second. Let's see what that looks like here. My old eyes, it's better to do it through the camera. Alright, so I'm going to go up another stop on the filter, and I'm going to turn off the live ND because it must turn on. You know, live simulation must turn on every time you do it. Of course, I was at 3 there. Let's go up to 6 again. See what that does for me. Not much. Well, 2 seconds. I don't know if I can hand hold 2 seconds. So let's find out. I'm going to go shoot this at 12. Alright, now I want to shoot it vertical. Same thing. I'll stay at f8. 1.3 seconds now. The light's coming up. So hopefully with image stabilization here in the OM1 Mark II that, you know, we won't have any issues with that. Alright, so now let's see. Let's shoot in. Let's zoom in a little bit. We shot at 12. Let's go into, and let's get rid of that 3. Everything else is going to be the same. We're going to adjust our shutter speed a little bit for 1.6 seconds, handheld. Alright, so how does that look? Yeah, from here it looks pretty darn cool, but we'll see. So again, if any of those things turned out, I'll put them in here so you can see them. so I've gotten a lot of pictures, and in the true fashion, story is my life. You know, I come up out of the creek here by the bridge onto the golf course. Over here behind me, there was a deer here in the field. All right, doe. You know, and I tried to get some pictures of it. I couldn't get video if she moved too quick, but I did try to stamp off a few pictures, hopefully, although again only at 45 millimeters, so which is equivalent of 90. All right, so that's our full frame equivalent of 90. Don't know what turned out. If something did turn out, I'll put it in here for you to see. All right, so let's talk about the Leica Q and what I've planned to do with it. Gave it a lot of thought, talked with Roberts, and Roberts is great. And again, I can't say enough good things about Roberts. I've used them over the years. Roberts Camera in Indianapolis. They don't sponsor me at all, but still, you know, I love working with them, so I want to make sure you guys know that. So if you're ever looking for something, by all means, look them up online. They're really good. So Roberts basically said I could return it if I wanted. I could send it back to them, and they'd take a look at it, see if they could fix it. You know, we even talked about maybe exchanging it for a Q2 or Q3, which really those numbers just didn't line up to make any sense for me. You know, so I checked with Leica to see, you know, what Leica had to say, and they said it would cost me between $150 and $300, you know, to have it cleaned up. I then contacted Roberts and told them that, you know, that's what they were telling me, and it really, based on my research, it was best that it go back to Leica. But I really wanted to keep it, and they offered to, you know, reimburse me. I asked them for 50% of it. They offered to reimburse me for all of it, you know. So I'm going to keep it. All right, I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to take it on my trip coming up here, you know, to the Mediterranean, use it there, and then when I get back, I'm going to send it into Leica. According to them, they've got a 13-week queue. All right, and I'll have it repaired then. Robert said they would reimburse me for that. I'll pay the freight. They'll pay the cost of the repair. You know. Good people, all right? They're good people, you know, and please, you know, you want to work with good, honest folks, and Roberts is definitely, you know, someone I've worked with in the past, so I feel very confident that they will be, and they are, all right? You know, so, you know, again, what are we talking about here with the Q? If you didn't see my first video on the Leica Q, you know, one of the things the Q is noted for is it has the potential to collect dust inside of it because it's not weather sealed, and there's a belief that, you know, dust gets in through the microphone ports on it, all right, to you know, they suggest putting gaffer tape over it, you know, to cover those things up, and that should help you, which I have done, all right? You know, so what you do, and again, I mentioned this last video, but I'll mention it again, all right? What you do on any camera, even on one like this, all right, if you want to find out if you have any dust on the sensor, if you're not really sure, set it to a high aperture, all right, like f/16 or above. Shoot either like a blue sky, or shoot a white piece of paper, or, you know, in my case, I shot a ceiling, all right? And if there's anything on there of any significance, you're going to see it, you know. And what I will do, you know, just so you know what I'm talking about here with the Leica Q, is right here I'll put in an image that I shot on my ceiling, all right, at f/16, so you can see what I'm seeing. Again, it's not bad, okay? It's not bad at all. It's just, do you really want, you know, to have that problem, you know? And I would like for it to be clear if I can. I mean, but it's not terrible. You're not looking at a lot of dust. There's like one big chunk, which I can't tell if it's on the sensor or in the lens, but beyond that, the camera itself is beautiful, all right, for, you know, a 9-year-old camera. So, you know, you can do that even with this stuff. Now, the difference is when it's an interchangeable lens camera, I mean, you can take the lens off, and then if you've got a rocket blower or something like that, you can blow it off, or you can take, you know, and there's actually swabs and things where you can swab the sensor. All right, so what I try to do to minimize that on my OM1, all right, is I always try to change the lenses down. I also make sure that the back of my lenses are clean, you know, so that way, you know, I'm not putting any dust there. And again, if you look, you can see the sensor in here, and the sensor is exposed, all right? Now, if you're looking at, you know, like my OM5, it actually had a cover over it, so when you turn the camera off, you know, the sensor got covered in it, but prevented a lot of that stuff. But a lot of the cameras don't have it, such as this one. It doesn't have it, you know, but you can still clean them pretty easily. It's when a fixed or sealed camera where you can't fix it very well, or if you get something inside of a lens, it's not easy to fix. You're going to have to send, or can't even speak, going to have to send it in, all right, to get it repaired. But I'm going to keep the Leica Q. I'm going to send it back to Leica after my trip, have them fix it. People from Roberts have been great, you know. I wanted to make sure you guys knew that's what I was going to do. You know, if there's any pictures I took today that I haven't shared yet, I'll try to remember to throw them in at the end of this video. But I think as we've gone through it, I've shared pretty much anything you wanted to see, or could want to see at least. You know, so I'm going to stop my rambling. You know, just say thanks for tuning in again. You know, appreciate every subscriber. Keep trying to help us grow the channel a little bit. Hopefully you guys, you know, like this kind of content. Give me a thumbs up if you do. Share, you know, share the videos with your friends or whoever else you may know. You know, it's all greatly appreciated. Continue to tune in. You know, if you're new, which I know there's a lot of new people coming and watching, you know, subscribe if you want to see more. You know, so thanks for your time, everybody. Till we see you again, stay safe.